In this lesson, I'm going to show you a comparison between Google Bard, ChatGPT, and GPT-4. Let me show you a few prompts. First, let's assume that I would like to, for example, look for sushi places that are within 10 minutes drive from, let's say, the CN Tower as an example. So here I have the prompt. So I'm going to say, how many sushi places are there in a 10-minute drive from the CN Tower? Let's see what Google Bard is going to come up with. So as I mentioned, Google Bard is actually quite fast, and it just comes up with answers pretty fast, actually. So you can see there are 20 sushi places within a 10-minute drive from CN Tower. These are the most popular sushi places. So here's going to show you a few ones. I actually can recognize some of those. Looks pretty accurate. And those sushi places offer a variety of sushi rolls, sashimi, and so on. And would you like to know more about these sushi places? And okay, that's actually a pretty good answer. Let's go ahead and test out ChatGPT. So if you recall, this is GPT 3.5, and that's the default model basically powering ChatGPT, which has been released by OpenAI, of course. So if I'm going to go ahead and ask the same question, please note that this is quite important, that basically ChatGPT, or the GPT 3.5 model, has only been trained with data up until 2021. It doesn't have like real-time information. And here's going to tell you, as an AI language model, I don't have access to real-time information about the exact number of sushi places within a 10-minute drive from the CN Tower. However, I can suggest a few ways to estimate the information. It's giving you kind of suggestions to basically look for information. So I would say for now, Google Bard is actually pretty powerful. Let's go ahead, and I wanted to show you an additional one, which is basically Bing search. Please note that Microsoft invested $10 billion in OpenAI, and right now it's kind of going crazy basically over the AI revolution, and it's competing directly with Google. So Google search has been the go-to search for pretty much the last 10 years or so. But right now, what's happening is Microsoft, after its amazing investment in OpenAI back in 2019, and with the new investment as well happening in 2023, what's happening is kind of, like a massive race to dominate search. So here we have Bing AI. If you just go and look up Bing AI search, basically you will be directed to Bing search. And of course, you need to just log in with your username. It pretty much works in the same way as Bard or ChatGPT. And please note that Bing is using GPT-4 model behind the scenes. So if you go back here, if you recall, I can go ahead, I can say, please go ahead, select GPT-4. So I can do that. Or alternatively, I can just use Bing search, and that is going to, again, leverage GPT-4 behind it as well. There are a lot of features, I would say, when it comes to Bing AI search. First, you can select what kind of conversation style you're looking for. You can either go with creative, or maybe balanced, or precise. So if I say, maybe let's pick balance, for example, and let's go ahead and ask the exact same question. Again, pretty much all of them work the same way. So here I'm asking how many sushi places are available within a 10-minute drive from the CN Tower. Let's go ahead and test it out. And you go, it's searching for basically the prompt. And it's going to tell you, well, I'm sorry, but I couldn't find any information on sushi places within a 10-minute drive from the CN Tower. However, these are many locations as well. So it's kind of giving you a quick map. And it's giving you just one sample that's kind of, not even in Toronto. So I would say, if you go back here, you will find that actually Google Bard was actually kind of one of the best out of all of those. So I would say Google Bard wins with this one. Let's go ahead and try out another prompt. Let's assume that I would like to ask, give me 5 best ideas and business models for a startup in artificial intelligence. So yeah, I actually wrote best twice, but I'm assuming both of them should be smart enough to know. So you're going to say, well, sure, here are 5 best ideas and business models for a startup in AI. AI-powered chatbot. So it's going to tell you, well, an AI chatbot are becoming increasingly popular, so they can provide customer service 24/7 and be customized to meet the needs of specific business. AI-powered marketing tools, AI-powered data analysis, okay, sure, AI-powered healthcare tools, AI-powered security tools. You can also see here some additional tips, which is I like in general. You would notice that Bard basically kind of give you a summary at the end, pretty much when you ask it any prompt. And this is kind of baked within the training set. And it's going to tell you, identify a problem that AI can solve, build the team with the right skills, find a mentor or advisor. It's kind of you giving you general advice. And of course, you can go ahead, click on Google it, and it's going to tell you as well few links that are related to your prompt. Okay, let's go ahead and see what ChatGPT is going to tell you. So this actually happens quite a few times, even though I've upgraded to Chat Plus. So I hope OpenAI will fix it at some point. Here we go. So this is the ChatGPT. It's going to tell you what AI-powered healthcare. So I should go back. You will see AI-powered healthcare has been recommended as well by Google Bard here. Of course, the order is different, but you develop an AI-based healthcare platform that can diagnose, monitor, and recommend treatments for patients. I would say I like the description here a little bit more with ChatGPT. The ideas are smart home automation, there's autonomous vehicles, there's fraud detection and prevention. You will find that this ChatGPT does not give you kind of the summary at the end, but give you the 5 ideas. So I would say this is a tie, I would say, between them. Let's go ahead and see what Bing search or the GPT-4 model is actually telling you. I'm going to say, give me 5, it's actually best ideas and business models for startup in AI. Let's go ahead and test it out. And it might take a few seconds for it to execute. And here we go. So of course, you would see that GPT-4 model is actually quite slower compared to the Google Bard. But here we go. It's going to tell you well, there are many AI-based startup ideas that can thrive, such as AI-based healthcare, energy-related startup, AI-based marketing startup. And what I really like as well here about Bing search is to actually give you links as well. It's kind of giving you the actual concise information along with links as well if you'd like to learn more. This is a pretty powerful tool, I would say. Here's going to tell you what AI-based cybersecurity, AI-based customer service, AI-based virtual interior designer, and you can go ahead and click on those, and that's going to direct you to multiple links as well. So I would say, in my opinion, Bing here search, which is powered by GPT-4, might be the best one out of all of them. Okay, let's go ahead and test the math and coding ability of all these different 3 models. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to ask Bard to do the following. Can you add documentation to the following code? And here I'm defining a Python function that simply sums up 2 numbers together. Don't worry if you don't fully, I would say, understand this function here. Basically, all I need to do is I wanted any of these AI models to go here and document the code for me. So here we go. This is a nice documentation. And it's going to tell you, well, the documentation includes the following information. It'd be a description of what the function does, the names, and the type of the value the function returns. Okay, so I think this is pretty good. And of course, you can go ahead and copy that code. Let's go ahead and test ChatGPT. So I'm going to say new chat. Hopefully, it's going to work without crashing this time. Here we go. Let's go ahead and test it out again. And let's give it a try. Certainly. And here we go. Actually quite fast. You're going to tell you, well, def my sum, this is my function, and it's giving you here like a nice documentation for the code. And here's the function call. It's giving you as well a description afterwards. So I really like, I would say, the OpenAI's approach in general when it comes to coding. Let's go ahead and test Bing chat. So here I have Bing, and I'm going to come back, use the exact same command here or prompt. Can you add documentation to the following codes? And here we go. Certainly. Here's an example of how you can document the code. It's giving you basically a detailed example here, and along with the documentation, and it's telling you, well, in this example, I've added a doc string in my sum, and it's kind of giving you a concise description of what this function or what this function does as well. Okay, so I would say overall, it's pretty, I really like the OpenAI approach in general. So I would say Bing search along with the ChatGPT are actually quite powerful. Okay, let's test them out when it comes to writing ability and maybe writing an article, for example, to promote a given business. So let's go ahead and use the same prompt that we used before, write an article to promote my business, which is called AI Simplified. My business offers world-class training on artificial intelligence and machine learning. Let's go ahead and see. So that's Google Bard. Here we go. We checked that out before. So if you recall, kind of giving you why, or kind of many reasons why you should choose or go like with buying that business, and or buying service from that business. Going to give you as well here a few conclusion at the end. Let's go ahead and test ChatGPT with it. So here we go. Anyway, certainly, AI and machine learning have become buzzwords in the tech industry. However, not everyone knows what these terms mean, how they can be applied to the real world. That's why AI Simplified comes in. Okay, that's pretty cool, I would say. It's a little bit longer compared to Bard. Let's go ahead and test the final one, and that is going to be Bing search, which is, as I mentioned before, it's powered by the power of GPT-4 models behind the scene. So let's go ahead and test it out. So I'm asking write an article to promote my business, which is called AI Simplified, exact same prompt. And of course, you can go ahead and play around with a creative, precise, or balanced instead. Here we go. Sure, here's an article that I came up with for you. AI Simplified, world-class training on artificial intelligence and machine learning. AI and machine learning are two of the most rapidly growing fields of the technology today. With AI Simplified, you can learn how to harness the power of these technologies. AI Simplified offers world-class training on AI and ML. Whether you're looking to, whether you are a business owner or looking to implement AI ML into your operations, pretty cool. At AI Simplified, we believe that everyone should have access to world-class training on AI ML. That's why we offer our courses at an affordable price. And okay, so I would say I pretty much like all of them. So what if I would like, for example, let's say to limit this article to, let's say, 100 words. So let's go ahead and test them out. So basically what you see is when it comes to the general prompts, that doesn't require a lot of reasoning. Basically, the three of them actually are quite comparable, I would say. And of course, one of the amazing features about Google Bard that you can go ahead and actually check multiple drafts. So I think this is a cool feature here when it comes to Google Bard. When it comes to Microsoft Bing, I think I really like the idea of the creative versus balanced versus precise. So let's go ahead and test this out. I'm only limited to 100 words. Let's see what Google Bard is going to come up with. Here we go. This is kind of a simplified version of the exact same, basically, data. Let's go ahead and do that. Again, same problem. Let's go ahead and every time basically you have to go and restart it again. And here, okay, so this is basically the previous prompts. And here I'm asking, can you only limited to 100 words? They were sure AI Simplified offers world-class training, artificial intelligence, machine learning. Our comprehensive program covers a range of topics. Actually, like ChatGPT answer. And let's go ahead and test here Bing search. I'm going to say I'm only limited to 100 words. Here we go. I see. Here's a shorter version of the article. AI Simplified, world-class training on artificial intelligence and machine learning. And of course, GPT-4 is actually pretty powerful, of course, and kind of give me a nice summary here in 100 words. Okay, so let's go ahead and try the last one, and that is going to be turn basically this into an article, or turn this article, my apologies, into a social media post on Facebook and use SEO-friendly keywords and hashtags. And right now, here we go. This is the body. This is the headline. So I tell you these are the hashtags. And it's actually mentioning to you as well, these are the SEO-friendly keywords. So I really like this as well when it comes to Google Bard. And he was showing you the post also includes the following hashtags as well. It's kind of explaining basically what the post look like. This is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and do that here with ChatGPT. So here I'm going to say, turn this article into a social media post. This is simply the post or the basically the post here along with all the hashtags. I would say it's pretty good as well. Let's go ahead and test the Bing. So I'm going to say, turn that article into a social media post and use SEO-friendly keywords. Here you go. And it's actually pretty powerful here as well. Please note that when it comes to the ChatGPT, what you notice is kind of mixing here these hashtags inside the actual prompt. So again, it depends on your, I would say, taste or what you're looking for. I would say, again, three of them are pretty comparable when it comes to the generic features. But what I'm going to show you afterwards is when it comes to advanced reasoning capabilities, actually the performance varies quite a bit. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start by asking a little bit more advanced questions that require higher level of reasoning. Then I'm going to say write a paragraph about family. So each word starts with the letter F. Let's go ahead and test it out. So here I'm testing Google Bard. And here we go. Forget the foolish thoughts of one failures of the past. Forgive the faults of your family. Find the fun and fulfillment of being together. So here it's a little bit off. Focus on the future and what you can do to make your family stronger. All of that is off pretty much. Forget the past and move on. Forgiveness is a powerful tool. Okay, so I would say that's, like I would give it maybe 5 out of 10. Let's go ahead and test ChatGPT with the exact same answer. So here we go. Let's go ahead and test it out. So I'm going to restart it here and paste the exact same prompt. Families are formed through the bonds of love and commitment. So it failed here pretty much. They provide us with a foundation of love. Love is the source of family comfort. Okay. So I would say it's not very accurate. Let's go ahead and shift to Bing, which is GPT-4, basically. So let's go ahead and write a paragraph about family. So each word starts with the letter F. Here's a paragraph that's going to tell you one. Family is a fundamental foundation for fostering friendship, fortifying faith, and forming futures. That's pretty cool. From the first day of our lives, family is there to feed us, fuel us, and fulfill us. They are our first friends and our fiercest. Okay, I think this is, of course, it failed here quite a bit as well. But overall, I would say Microsoft Bing is actually much better compared to Google Bard and GPT 3.5. So if you actually go back and maybe let's test GPT-4 as an example. So basically, Microsoft took GPT-4 instead of powering it or powering the Bing chat. But let's go ahead and see if the answer, for example, is going to be pretty much the same. So what you see is the answer here. It's actually pretty accurate, I would say. This is kind of the most accurate one. And it's actually better than Bing chat, which is also powered by GPT-4. But it seems that the model has been tuned somehow. And that's why you will see GPT-4 is actually doing the best out of all. And followed by Bing Chat, which is also powered by GPT-4, possibly a tuned version of that. And of course, Bard and ChatGPT are quite failed on the task. Let's go ahead and test it with a math question. Running at the same constant rate, 6 identical machines can produce a total of 33 widgets per hour. At this rate, how many widgets could 14 such machines produce in 3 hours? So let's go ahead and actually remove that. And let's copy it. And let's press enter. So here I'm providing 5 choices. I'm going to tell you what the answer is B, and that's correct. Let's break it down step by step. And here's the answer. It's actually pretty good. Let's go ahead and test ChatGPT. So I'm going to test it as well with the same answer here. 6 machines can produce 33 widgets. Again, overall, the answer is B. Okay, that's good. Let's go ahead and test the Bing here. Exact same prompt. And let's see what Bing's going to come up with. It's going to tell you searching for, and it's looking for something here. Here we go. The problem can be solved using the formula, and it's solving it basically for you. And here we go. The answer is B. So this helps and give you kind of directions as well. Basically the GMAT question. And that's why it's giving you links to the GMAT Club, GMAT Free, and so on. Okay, so I would say this is a tie compared to or between all of them. Let's go ahead and maybe test Bard with this prompt here. Explain the plot of the Titanic in which each word has to begin with the next letter in the alphabet from A to Z without repeating any letters. Let's go ahead and see. So basically, I need to find a series of words. So again, I board the Titanic, so it failed already. Captain B, boldly commands ship through calm D, days E. Again, it's actually not that great. Let's go ahead and test ChatGPT. So let's go ahead and restart it again. I hope OpenAI will fix basically this issue here. So here we go. All right, here it goes. So it's trying, but it's kind of starting every sentence with the letter A, B, C, D, and so on. I didn't really understand that I'm talking about every word in here. So again, it has limited reasoning ability. So let's go ahead and test Bing search. So I'm going to basically ask the exact same question here. And let's see. Find the part of the Titanic in which each word has to begin with the next letter in the alphabet from A to Z without repeating any letters. Let's see. I'm sorry, but I couldn't find any information on a plot of the Titanic for each word. Okay, however, I can tell you that Titanic. Okay, that's actually a strange answer. Let's maybe be creative and let's go ahead and see if that helps in any way. Let's see. So basically right now it's trying to be creative. Here we go. And what you see here is aboard boat, calves, diamond, and ties. Okay, that's actually pretty good. It actually got it pretty correct. And that's actually pretty powerful. So I would say Microsoft Bing or GPT-4 wins big with this one. Okay, let's go ahead and test kind of the classic example that I showed you earlier in the course. Let's go again to Googlebot and say there are, let's say, 250 murders in a room. You walk into a room and you kill 2 of them. How many murders are left in the room? Well, I'm just a language model, so I can't help you with that. Okay, kind of the model basically has been tweaked to kind of tune out anything related to murdering, for example, and so on. And let's go ahead and test ChatGPT with that. Anyone? If you kill 2 murders in the room, then you end up with 248, so it's basically totally off. So let's see if Bing was able to answer that, and let's go with let's actually keep it as is, and let's see what's going to happen. Let's kind of test the creative side of Bing's. Can tell you, well, that's a tricky riddle. The answer depends on how you interpret the word murders. If you mean people who have committed murder, then the answer is 249, because you killed 2 of them and became 1 yourself. If you mean people who are capable of murder, the answer is 250, because you prove that you are also capable of murdering by killing 2 of them. That's actually a pretty powerful answer, I would say. So I would say Bing Chat as well won with this one. Okay, let's go ahead and test another one. So old Granny Adams left her money to her granddaughter and half that amount to her grandson. She left the 6 to her brother and the remainder, which is $1,000, to the dog's home. How much did she leave altogether? So the correct answer for this one is $12,000. So let's see. So basically here came up with 12K. That's actually pretty good. And old Granny left $12,000. Let's test out ChatGPT with this one. It's going to tell you, well, hopefully it's going to come up with the correct answer. And it's going to tell you, well, x equals 2 minus 666 is okay. That's totally off. Okay. So ChatGPT failed with this one. Let's test GPT-4, which is Bing search. Let's see. That's another riddle. Okay, let me try to solve it. I really like the way, the equations have been written here. And it's going to give you, simplifying the equation, you get 6,000. Actually, this is not correct. Okay, so maybe because we tried out the creative side, let's go with more balanced approach. Or actually, let's go ahead with precise. Let's see if changing it to precise actually changed anything. So now, basically what I'm doing here is I'm adjusting the temperature of the model, meaning that I don't want to need any creativity at all. So here we go. So you finally actually came up with the correct answer, which is 12,000. And that was correct because I don't need any creativity here, just do plain math. But you would notice that there is some, I would say here, formatting issues, for example. So I hope Bing will be able to fix it at some point. Okay, let's go ahead and do another test, which is going to be a bar exam question. And I showed you that bar exam question before, which is here. A husband and wife were married in state A and lived for 10 years. And this is kind of the classic bar exam question. And the correct answer here, let's see what Google is going to come up with. Can I tell you what the answer is? C, and that's correct. Let's test out ChatGPT. Let's again restart it again here. And let's paste it. Let's try it out. Well, the answer is D. That's correct. Let's go ahead and test Bing search. And right now, basically, let's go with balance, which is kind of the default settings here. Let's go ahead and test it out and see what the output will look like. Well, it's actually telling you, can a spouse file for a divorce in another state? Well, the wife can file for a divorce in another state. Okay, therefore it's possible. Okay, so it's kind of explaining it to you. I need the answer, please. So, okay, if also okay. So basically didn't specify the actual answer that I'm looking for. Okay, so let's go ahead and maybe change that. So actually go ahead and restart it first. And let's maybe go with precise. And let's see what answer we are going to get. Okay, the correct answer is C. Yes, because stakeholders are exclusive jurisdiction over the type of action. Okay, so if you actually go back, here the correct answer is D. Here the correct answer is C. But I would say ChatGPT here failed basically because it could have selected D. However, Google Bard selected C, which is correct. And also Bing Search selected D, which is correct as well. So let's go ahead and test out Bard. And right now I would like to kind of test out how funny each of these tools can be. So I'm going to say, give me 5 funny jokes to share with my friends tonight. Let's go ahead and see what Google Bard is going to come up with here. Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field. Okay. How do you call a fish with no eyes? Okay. FSH. Okay. What do you call a lazy kangaroo? Pouch potato. Okay. So let's go ahead and maybe test out ChatGPT and see, again, the exact same prompt here. Sure. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything. Okay. Why don't oysters share their pearls? Because they're selfish. Sure. What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. Okay, these are slightly better, I would say. Let's go ahead and compare that with GPT-4 or Bing AI. So here we go. Give me 5 funny jokes. And of course, GPT-4 is kind of the slowest out of all of them. This is kind of one common, I would say, characteristic. Here we go. Sure, here are some jokes that you can share with your friends. What kind of shorts do clouds wear? Thunderpants. Okay. Why are toilets always so good at poker? Yeah, we always get a flush. Sure. Okay. What do you get from a pampered cow? Spoiled milk. Okay. These are actually funny, quite funny, I would say. So here I would say ChatGPT and GPT-4, I would say win over Bard when it comes to this example. Let's go ahead and check out some examples from the GMAT exam. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here and then I'm going to ask the question. This is basically a GMAT question that is related to the English grammar and understanding basically of text. So here I have basically 5 choices. I'm not going to read through all of that, but basically let's see the answer. The correct answer here is E. And if you go back and try to check the various drafts, basically that means that the AI model is actually confident in its response, which is great. That means the answer is E on all of them. So I would say here Google Bard did pretty well. Let's go ahead and test out ChatGPT. He is kind of explaining to you basically all the answers. You can say, well, the correct answer is E. That was correct as well. So let's go ahead and test out ChatGPT-4, which is Bing search here. And I'm assuming he's going to get, obviously, the correct answer because ChatGPT was able to do that. And GPT-4 is an enhanced version, obviously, here. The option E has been selected, and it's kind of explaining to you as well what the answer looked like. Okay, and I'm kind of giving you as well directions to the Life Sciences, the Guardian, and so on. Okay, so I would say that's a tie comparing the 3 tools. Let's go ahead and test out another example, which is again related to the understanding English comprehension, basically. So we're going to go back, and then I'm going to test out here Google Bard. So that's another question. And here also I have 5 choices as well. And let's see what Google Bard is going to come up with. Well, the correct answer is B, and that's actually correct. Let's go ahead and test out ChatGPT. Well, the correct answer is B. Let's go ahead and test out Bing search. And let's see what the correct answer we're going to look like. Well, the correct answer is B. So that's again a tie among all of them. Okay, that's pretty good. Finally, what I wanted to show you is I wanted to show you basically kind of some sort of an AI or machine learning code. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask basically first Google Bard to tell me what kind of machine learning algorithm does this code implement. So basically here I'm implementing XGBoost algorithm to train a machine learning regression model. And let's see if basically Bard was able to understand that code or not. So when I run it, let's go ahead and see. They're telling me, well, the code implements an XGBoost algorithm. XGBoost is a powerful machine learning model. So they tell you, well, here's a brief description as well, the overview of the XGBoost algorithm, what it actually does. And of course, you can go ahead and Google it. It's going to give you as well many resources related to XGBoost. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Let's go ahead and test ChatGPT. You go, the code implements XGBoost regressor algorithm. It's actually pretty good as well. Let's go ahead and finally test GPT-4 model. So I'm going to go ahead here. I'm going to do the same. And let's see what the output we're going to look like. And again, it's quite, I would say, slow compared to the other ones. So here we go. This code implements the XGBoost algorithm, which is a decision tree algorithm, kind of ensemble machine learning model. And it's giving you as well link to resources here, such as towards data science and machine learning mastery as well. Okay, so that's good. I would say that's a tie compared to all of them. And now this is kind of the tricky part, and that's what I would like to conclude this video with. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, could you please update the code to use an artificial neural network with transformer architecture instead of XGBoost? I actually tested it before, and that's why I wrote here next to the prompt that Bard wins. Let's see if it's consistent and repeatable. So let's see. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm asking the Google Bard to replace the XGBoost model and put an artificial neural network with a transformer architecture in it. And if you basically are familiar with AI and ML transformer-based models, these are the models that are powering ChatGPT, and that's where the term T comes into play. It's called basically generative pre-trained transformer, and that's what I'm mentioning here. Don't worry about it too much, but it's simply the architecture of the brain, of the digital brain, that powers the GPT model. So here we go, you scroll down, you will see that all of them are good, and here we go, you will see that basically the Google Bard was able to come here, was able to actually create the transformer model, okay, with multiple attention heads. It's actually pretty good. Compiling the model and training it and so on. So that's actually a very good answer. It's giving you links as well to GitHub resources. I really like that. If you go back and test out, let's actually, of course, remove this. Let's test out ChatGPT. Here's an updated code. I tell you why university admission. And basically what you see here, it was able to actually train a model, but what it's doing here is just building a regular neural network. It's essentially training a transformer per se. That's, I would say, lacking here when it comes to understanding of what I exactly meant when it comes to ChatGPT. Let's go ahead and test the final one, and that is going to be the Bing search. And that's what I'm going to do here. Please go ahead, update the code for me. Use artificial neural network with transformer architecture instead of XGBoost. And let's see what Bing search is going to generate for us. Sure, XGBoost, video boost algorithm, use decision trees. Okay. And it's explaining to you that basically it's kind of based on the paper, which is called Attention is All You Need. I hope this helps. I'm actually surprised with the response here by Bing. It's kind of not exactly what I'm looking for, but maybe why don't we maybe go ahead and restart it? And what I'm trying to do here is trying to be creative. Let's see, let's test out the creative side of it. And let's see if that maybe come up with any better answer. So it's telling me, well, can I share the code? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the code here again. And this is the exact same code that I included before. So far, actually, Bard wins so far. So Bard actually got the answer very, very good. And ChatGPT kind of failed in a way. And let's see here what we're getting. So it's showing you that right now it's actually pre-processing. So there is a tokenizing, so it's doing the encoding piece, okay? And it is generating here, load the model and change the alpha layer to regressor, okay? And I would say this is an okay answer, but it's not exactly what I was looking for when it comes to developing the transformer-based models. And I would say Google Bard actually wins when it comes to this one, especially that it's giving you links as well associated with all the GitHubs that has been kind of trained on, which is super powerful.